I'm not sure.
Yes.
Age Patterson, who's been helping to organize down there in Los Angeles, to show you how strict this courtroom is. I understand that during the jury proceedings, his cell phone went off, and they excused him from the court proceedings indefinitely, right, for the duration of the trial. Now, if you're interested in going, those that go, you should know that there's a lottery process in order to get in. While we have not had great difficulty, there's still some difficulty in getting in, and those that are able to get in the lottery process are only guaranteed to sit in one session, either before lunch or after lunch in that session. So if you're interested in going to Los Angeles and sitting in on the trial, there's always something to do even if you don't get in, by the way.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in sitting in the trial, you need to arrive to the courthouse at Temple and Broadway at about 7:30 or earlier in the morning to catch them as they're giving the tickets out. They will do a drawing at 7:45 that morning for the 8:30 trial. They will pull 10 tickets. That's how many public seats there are. So the rest of the seats are devoted to the Grant family, the Messerly family, and I haven't seen any of them yet, and the press. Perhaps the Messerly family has opted not to come, so I surely haven't seen any of them yet.
Yeah, it was mentioned that they are not appearing. They have not been appearing.
Right, they have not appeared at all, that I can tell, unless it's one person or so. Yes, ma'am.
What is the current thinking amongst the activists regarding deal Department of Justice monitoring the trial? Is there any value in that now? Or?
I think that Sister Ann, we and those of us that have been gathering together will have to drive that. So soon, actually, we'll be gathering a meeting here in Olivet of community leaders from all over, black community leaders from all over this area in just a few weeks. And surely on the platform of our dialogue is to pursue this case beyond the state charges. The Justice Department should be involved. The question is who can make them get involved.
Now,
yes, sir.
Maybe everybody don't know. Well, anyway, I'll just share it. Al Sharpton will be there Monday.
Yes.
But prior to our conversation before this coming Monday, he had talked about he wants to get the Attorney General, Justice Department. He said he's going to make enough noise so they all begin to really take a look at this. I don't know. Maybe he may be the beginning of that source or that information.
Well, God willing, we'll see and go help him.
Yeah.
So that, of course, we would like for Reverend Sharpton to help bring this case back to the front of the mind of the community. And in some manner, he has some connection to the Obama administration, and that should surely include a connection to the Attorney General, Eric Holder, to monitor and make sure that this case goes as a case really should go. Sister Ann, we will help. So whether Reverend Sharpton is involved or not in the process, God willing, I'll be able to return to Los Angeles and engage Reverend Sharpton to help connect what we're doing here to whatever it is he's doing from New York or DC or from wherever he's based.
If I can, throw one more thing. We talked about the jury, and I'm just, listening to the young brothers, the young men. And it's a sad note that part of the way that they eliminate jury members is what kind of relationship or feelings that they have toward police when it comes to these issues. And as we just seen, all our young people have had issues with the police, and not so much personally, but the fact that they know someone that's been affected. So how can we ever get a jury that's going to contain some African Americans if that question be asked?
And there's concern over the speed with which the jury was selected.
Yeah.
They had to throw one juror out as soon as they started the first day. So, and we don't know why, in terms of what the judge's explanation was to the attorneys. That was sidebar conversation. However, the jury was selected after a questionnaire, which you can find much of on the internet. And there were questions that would have excluded Any one of us.
Do police officers lie?
Yeah, do police officers tell lies? That's why we're here. That's a stupid question. They lie when they said I was speeding once. I mean, if that's the question, then you're excluding jurors, particularly black jurors.
Yeah.
Do you believe that racial profiling exists? Of course. Have you ever been a victim of racial profiling? Of course. The questions that were asked in the jury questionnaire were so slanted. You've heard it said perhaps that academic tests are called culturally biased. Well, that questionnaire was actually culturally biased. It was designed to weed out people who had any experience with police brutality. And once I went through those numbers I just went through about the abundance of contact between black people and law enforcement, then you know that we already have an impact on us by these experiences. It turned out that when they selected the jury, they excluded all of those that had those experiences, but they included those whose family and friends are police officers.
Yeah.
So we're concerned about the jury. We can't change it at this point. But that's why it becomes important that the federal court and the Department of Justice be involved in this process. We don't want to see what happened with Rodney King. We don't want to lose the game and then have to find out